What would be an afternoon this summer in Colorado without a little hail? Some afternoon hail. Tony shared this video of the hail piling up in Thornton. It has been a summer of that.
Yeah, but Danielle, now it looks like we're going to get a little bit of a cool down coming.
A cool down and a little break from the severe storms. Tonight, they're all pushing out across the eastern side of Colorado. Severe thunderstorm watch scaled back, but will last another about 30 minutes time for our far eastern counties. Back here in the metro area, it's pretty quiet with the exception of this one isolated cell that's dropping off the foothills in Larimer County, approaching Fort Collins. It was so visual earlier tonight, just as the sun was setting, so you probably saw it, that big thunderhead as well as the lightning. Quite impressive. Also pretty impressive off to the eastern side of the state, too. We have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings going out there for huge hail as well as heavy rains on already saturated soils. Tomorrow afternoon, the bullseye for trouble again going to be around Fort Morgan, Lyman, and then stretching off to the east. You're traveling I-76, I-70. Just a heads up, you might see the same thing like what we're looking at tonight. Temperatures, like you mentioned, cooling off quite a bit into the 60s at this 9 o'clock hour. Feels delightful outside. 50s around Kremling through Leadville with 70s in Eagle and Grand Junction. So the severe weather all tracking off to the east for us tonight. Tomorrow, a little drier, perfect for your Friday, right? And then I do have a cold front marching in that's going to make it feel a little bit more like fall. How cool will we go and how long does it last? I have some answers in just a few.
Two young men shot during the NBA championship celebrations in Lodo are back home now. The friends went downtown just to have some fun, ended up spending weeks in the hospital. Here's 9 News reporter Kelly Rinke.
A moment can change perspective.
Don't just go out and do senseless things, in a sense, because it can impact someone's life forever.
Trajan Hamilton and his friend Keith Sablon feel lucky to be here. Life has looked different since June, when someone shot them multiple times outside View House in downtown.
Not being able to just get up and walk and use the restroom on my own and things like that. Things I never thought. I took it for granted.
All they wanted was to celebrate the Nuggets' first NBA championship. Attending that party put them in the hospital for weeks because police say a drug deal nearby went terribly wrong.
I saw like 2 large groups start pushing each other, and then I seen a guy take out a gun and start shooting.
Surveillance video captured Trajan running. Keith fell behind a barrier. He was shot 3 times.
The guy who shot me was in the ICU at the same time. Wow, that sucks. I got to be here for who knows how long, suffering.
Their frame of mind got easier when the friends got to see each other for the first time in the hospital. They hadn't talked in over a week.
That was the moment where I got to see if he was doing better and doing okay, because I just got to hear, and then everybody around me got to visit him.
Someone's quick decision changed their lives, but they choose to focus on the bond it's created.
Things that family don't understand, I know Keith will understand.
We've always been pretty close too, but this trauma bonding is a real thing for sure.
Trajan celebrated his birthday in the hospital with another surgery. Keith had to go back to the hospital for a medical scare just last week, Kim.
Oh, and they're so young. That's all. This crowd down there was just a young crowd, excited.
Yeah, they went with a huge group of people. They were Nuggets fans, and they just wanted to be a part of the celebration, never thinking that this would happen.
No. Okay, well, we wish them good days ahead.
Yes,
Thank you, Kelly.
A hardline gun advocacy group, Rocky Mountain Gun Owners, says it's filing for a temporary restraining order against the new state law that bans young adults from buying and owning guns. That law goes into effect Monday. Back in April, the group sued to reverse the law that raises the age to buy a gun in Colorado from 18 to 21. They tried again in June, but nothing's been decided on those challenges, so that's why they're going for the restraining order.
Denver's new mayor paid a visit to a homeless camp the day before the city will sweep people out. This will be the first sweep under Mayor Mike Johnston. The encampment is at 22nd and Stout on the edge of downtown Denver. Johnston says this camp needs to be cleared for significant health risks, citing a rat infestation. Homeless advocates say between 50 and 70 people will be impacted by the sweep. One person says he was glad to talk to Johnston in person.
I felt, without anything, just on my own, that he was being sincere, and that's what I told my old lady the other day. But she don't buy it, and I'm like, give the guy a chance. I can't. Maybe he's stepping into a hard role there. And so, but we don't know. We've been let down a lot of times, man.
Johnston told him someone from the city will be out to help him find housing.
It can be really tough for homeowners to keep up with fire mitigation. I mean, physically, it's hard work. Financially, it's not cheap. 9 News reporter Jennifer Meckel shows us how a group of teenagers is helping homeowners in Boulder County get it done.
Sometimes we like scatter the slash, and then sometimes we like take it back into like a truck or something.
Growing up in the metro,
I live in the center of Aurora, so.
Sumera Alexander never really thought about wildfire prevention.
No, I don't have to do any of this at home.
But this summer, Sumera and this crew could be the difference between a home saved or lost.
They're doing the limbing still. We removed the junipers that we needed to remove.
It's a Boulder County program, Wildfire Partners, helping homeowners with financial need get this important work done. The labor comes from teenagers through Teens Inc. Lincoln Hill Teamworks program.
Homeowners, they understand the importance of the work we're doing. You know, we've allowed people to keep their home insurance. Someone got certified and was able to maintain that home insurance where otherwise they would have lost it within a year.
18-year-old Oren Dutton grew up in Nederland.
Being from a rural area, I think fire's been really close to like my community.
On this property, the group cleared fuels, logs, juniper, and needles. They trimmed grass and limbed trees. Kids are getting paid for this work too. A summer job with purpose.
This was like the best opportunity to like introduce myself into nature and being outside more.
And I think it's the greatest summer job because you get to be outside, you get to be meeting new people, making new friends, making money, helping out people in the community, and just sort of giving back while also like I said, being outside and like enjoying the nature that we have here.
Jennifer Meckles, 9 News.
Dozens of young people are part of this Teens Inc. program. That was the 10th property that they worked on in Boulder County this summer.
Someone dressed like a golfer is stealing golf clubs from courses around the metro area. Not exactly the most serious crime, but enough of a nuisance that police investigated and made an arrest. Here's 9 News reporter Cole Sullivan.
Not every golfer is a pro.
I'm not that good. I play more for fun.
But there's no point in playing at all if you don't have a club, as Mitch Radio learned Monday.
When I came outside, it was just odd for me because I was trying to think in my head, like, did I leave them in my car? But I remember putting them exactly right behind my dad's clubs.
He set them down here, outside the clubhouse at Lakewood's Fox Hollow course. When he came back, no sign of his first set of real grown-up clubs.
At first I'm thinking maybe someone else just accidentally took it, and then it just kind of hit me like they could also be stolen.
He filed a police report and found he wasn't the only one. Someone stole 3 sets of clubs from here at the Broken T in Inglewood. There was 1 set stolen in Westminster and 2 in Denver, causing golf courses across the metro area to warn golfers to be on the lookout.
No, yeah, mine were over $2,000.
$2,000 is on the cheaper end of the clubs police say Ross Zeitz stole. He's now in the Denver jail on suspicion of theft, and other departments are looking to see whether he's their guy too. One affidavit says he wore a white polo and blue baseball cap, fitting in with the golf crowd before driving off.
I have no idea where my clubs are, and I don't know if I'll get them back either.
An expensive disappointment.
Doesn't feel good.
Radio turned into a sort of motivation on Monday, with the help of some loaners.
It was my best game ever, I'm not gonna lie.
He says police have not recovered his clubs yet, but they have found some. Police say the suspect in this case pawned at least 1 set.
This person has hit a lot of places, and golfers just stop to grab a bite of food, whatever. It's easy.
Well, when we were out today, even after all these warnings have been put out, folks are leaving their bags as they're going, like this kid was, in to pay for their tee time, and they come out and it's gone.
And when they're dressed as a golfer. Okay. All right. Thanks, Cole. Speaking of golf and thieves, golfers in Canada are keeping a closer eye on their clubs now. A female bear pulled a golf bag off a cart at a golf club in Vancouver and dragged it down a ravine. The golfer was able to get some of his clubs back, luckily just lost some balls and tees. Probably a snack, though, somewhere in that bag.
Yep, grabbed the salmon BLT at the turn and put it in the bag, and then away it went down into the ravine. Yep, for sure.